Alright, so I'm here to talk about BIOSHOCK from 2007. Although the footage is from the remaster I have on PC. Not too much of a difference. There are some differences that I'm not really sure about why they did it, but yeah. A couple things. I beat the game in 6.5 hours, and that was about 80% on medium, and then the rest on easy. So yeah, you know, it's like I'd say an average 7-hour, 8-hour game. And I'm honestly shocked I haven't made this video yet, because BIOSHOCK, man, when it first came out, I swear it was like the first actual game I had on an Xbox 360, because, well, back then it was like, didn't even really have an Xbox 360. It was like my brother had one and I just bought a game for it. But I remember going to my sister's friend's house, like we were all over there, and he was playing this game, and I was just like, what is this game? This game looks fun, it looks incredible. I was like, you know, BIOSHOCK, what's that? Mind you, I'm 12, so, you know, I'm curious. And so, I get it, and, man, I mean, you talk about, like, I mean, even now, I'm like, man, it's kind of, it has some difficulty. Now, imagine being 12 years old and playing, and you've never ever really played, like, a shooter game like that. But yeah, so I've always had a love for BIOSHOCK, and I find myself going back and playing through them, you know, once a year or once every 2 years. I actually just ran through BIOSHOCK Infinite and did not record any footage, so that sucks. I need to go through BIOSHOCK 2, because I think BIOSHOCK 2 is my favorite, even though it was the cool thing. I don't know if it still is, but, you know, it was the coolest thing back then to be like, BIOSHOCK 2 fucking sucks. Hate this game. Worst game of the series. I'm like, what? It gave you the most options, choice-wise. You got to play as a big daddy. I mean, I think they did a wonderful job. I was so confused on why people hated it so much. But yeah, so playing the remaster took about 6.5 hours. And in playing it, because yeah, it's been a minute since I played the first one again. And the remaster version, and I don't know why, just changes subtle things where I'm kind of like, what was that for? Like when you upgrade the Tommy gun on the back, it'll show like a light, I guess, you know, and it looks like it says 101 or, you know, LOL. And in the original, it would light up like red, and then you can kind of see a wave, and it'd be like red, yellow, red, yellow. Now it's just one static color. Don't really know why they changed that, and it looks like some of the designs for the upgrades for the guns are slightly modified too. I'd have to play the original fully through to pick and choose, you know, like what's different. There were some plasmids where I was like, I literally don't remember these. And to be fair, even when I played the original, I really never used I wouldn't say a bunch of the plasmids, but a decent amount. I was like, I tried it out a few times and was like, nah, I'm good. But yeah, but onto the game itself. This game, to me, even now, I feel like it's sad that we can't get games that just really change it up like this. You know, an FPS game, but you have the plasmids, you have the powers. You know, you can summon a tornado to launch a guy, you can blast a guy with just full force gravity, light people on fire, electrocute them, and then you can, you know, do that, and then, you know, like chain combo with melee. The story, this like dystopian, you know, it's not super original, but I think it was done very, very well. Especially, you know, since video games, I feel like from 2000 to 2014 were just top tier. But yeah, you know, it's this dystopian underwater city, glorious. basically, you know, the guy, Andrew Ryan, who built the city, is kind of a psycho. Not too bad on the story. It's hard to really talk about it without spoiling it. Mind you, yeah, the game's been out 12 years, but I still know people to this day who have yet to play it and are like, oh yeah, you know, hey, I'd like to play that one day. I'm like, well, it's been 12 years and you still haven't, so you probably won't. But I still don't want to fully spoil it for this people. I mean, obviously there's a twist towards the end, iconic twist. You literally don't think about it. And maybe, you know what, if you play it now as an adult, you will catch on it quicker. But as a 12-year-old playing it, I had no idea. And when I got to the end, I was like, oh, shit. Oh. But, yeah. And, you know, the game has replayability because, you know, you kind of, like, go about, you know, am I going to do a little... You can't really super stealth, but, you know, you can kind of be stealthy. But, you know, change up your plasmids. And a big key thing in the game is, am I going to save the little sisters or harvest them? Which is basically good ending, bad ending. To this day, I have not been able to make myself do the bad ending. It's so strange because in most games I can be like, ah, I'll play the evil character, but just can't do it in BioShock, man. You know, and I've seen the bad ending because of YouTube, but I still cannot make myself do it. Same thing with Mass Effect. I've never been able to do a full Renegade because I just can't do it. It just seems like so wrong to me, which is funny because it's like, it's a game. But yeah, the biggest thing is the two different endings and what powers you use and which weapons you decide to upgrade, because there's upgrade stations for your weapons, and some of them are real easy, like you'll walk past and you'll see it, but some are hidden, you know, so you really need to kind of go out of your way to find them and upgrade your weapons, which severely help. I will say, having played it on normal, it felt fine up until like the last, you know, 15% of the game, and I was like, well, this is weirdly becoming a lot harder, just like a hard cut to it being just like significantly harder. And I was trying to get the video done and, you know, in a quick amount of time, so I just switched it to easy and got it done, which it's sad because I switched it to easy and I was like, well, okay, well now it's a little like too easy, like, okay, well, like, where's the fine line between these two? But yeah, and you know, the gameplay, the combat, it's your, I would say, relatively standard first-person shooter. What can draw a lot of people off is, I mean, and you can kind of change it, but it's the controls. Even playing the remaster with the Xbox One controller, the controls are the same as the 360, where you press down on the right analog stick to aim, and your character takes like 3 seconds to fully like adjust their aim. And it's like a push, and it's just held aiming. It's not like a toggle, because the left trigger is for your plasmids. So it can be a little weird, and you know, Y is to jump, which, you know, that's like Elder Scrolls. So it's not the weirdest thing. The only thing for me is like, I just haven't played games like that where you press Y to jump in a while, so I kept kind of forgetting. But yeah, it's, you have your wrench, which is your melee, and then you have your plasmids, which are, you know, anything really, and then you have your ranged weapons. The big key thing is also most weapons have different kinds of ammo, and for different kind of things. You know, the armor-piercing rounds are great for machines and big daddies. The rocket launcher has homing missiles, proximity mines, which help a ton. Crossbow has incendiary bolts and trap bolts, which are fucking fantastic. So you know, I find myself using like the same 3 weapons basically over and over again. But it's nice, like they truly do give you like a lot of different weapons, upgrading different weapons, different ammo, different plasmids. I kind of wish you could get a different melee weapon to do different things, or if they had like a block feature, because you are kind of fucked when someone comes and attack you. There is no like dodge mechanic or even like jump back or block. You're taking the hit, which is very annoying. But yeah, gameplay, it's very simple, enjoyable. The graphics, even today, I think it holds up pretty well. It has this, and it's so hard for me to explain because, like, you know, I always just look at it as like, oh, it's the BioShock 1 graphics, where it's this, the textures are loaded in, but it's almost like it has this like glossy cover over everything. And I get it because they're underwater, but everything has like a wet look on the inside. Like not even things that should be wet, like things that are not even by the water. It has this like gloss. So I always thought that was neat. I don't really see it in BioShock 2. BioShock 2 looks, you know, I think visually, like graphics-wise, not like the atmosphere, but the graphics-wise different. Which is fine, and I'll run through that game soon too. But yeah, I mean, it's like, it's so weird because it's such a good, simple yet such intricate game, and it's crazy that it's 2007 because you'll see games nowadays come out and be so like just void of, you know, shit like that. Like, I feel like if BioShock were to come out today, you know, not by that studio, I just don't know how I'd feel, you know. I do know that the original people who made BioShock are now making Judas, which is basically BioShock. It's what I'm starting to feel about, you know, it's like Callisto Protocol is Dead Space. The not Dead Space Dead Space. Judas is the not BioShock. And not that that's always a problem, but it's kind of, you know, it's kind of like, okay, you know, because just a quick note, you know, because I saw someone get mad, like, oh, you know, so you want a game like Dead Space, but you're mad that they made a game like Dead Space. It's like, you know, a game like Dead Space, that's cool and all, but I want another Dead Space, okay? You know, I don't know why people get so butthurt about that. Like, hey, I don't keep wanting games like the game I want the actual next iteration of that game. I know that BioShock 4 is being made, I think, by a new company, so I'm hesitant, but both excited. I'm praying that they don't fuck it up. BioShock Infinite, I don't think was bad, but it was, I don't know. I didn't like BioShock Infinite where you only had 2 weapons. I liked having the weapon wheel from 1 and 2. And the character of Booker DeWitt wasn't too bad and anything. There's just something about it, you know. And I didn't think Columbia was too bad, but I don't know. I don't hate it, but I feel kind of dreadful replaying it again. Whereas 1 and 2, I can keep replaying and be like, oh yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, you know, I don't think there's much more to say. Great atmosphere, great visuals, still hold up in the remaster. And you can get the remaster on PS4 and Xbox One. It's always, at least when I bought it on PS4, man, it's always on sale, like for dirt cheap. But yeah, great atmosphere, great graphics. It's got the, you know, simple yet good combat gameplay. You know, different choices. You know, definitely replayability. You can go over and try new things. So, yeah, and I also, in the remaster, I didn't try it yet, but there's like a challenge mode now. I don't remember that being in the original, so I'll need to try that out. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it for this video. Yeah, if you can go find, because I see it on Steam right now. I don't know if I checked PS4, but it's like $5, and usually you can get the bundle with all 3 for like $10 so not a bad price. As a fan of BioShock, I think it's a good deal, and I'd definitely say play the remaster. It's still just as good as it always was. So, thanks for watching. I'm out.